Alright, hello buddy, welcome back to Inscryption.
Still got some stuff in the cabin to start toying with while Leshy just kind of watches.
Like what, these?
Yes, those will make your runs easier. But there's also that squirrel thing.
Squirrel thing?
To your right.
This?
Yes, there's a puzzle involving that. There's a puzzle involving the wolf. Yes, you'll need that knife for something a decent ways down the line. So you don't need to worry about this one too much, but just examples for what needs to be done in the run. And you gotta do stuff with that clock too. There's a few codes for that clock, but I forgot where a few of them were. I know what the codes are, but you're not really supposed to know them yet.
Beehive. Rabbids! I mean, we should probably get rabbits,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
This card's actually kind of crazy. It's free, and it's the strength of a wolf.
You can put another sigil on it too. Usually how it works is that, I mean, you don't have too many cards to use. But check your deck right now. Oh, well, actually, oh yeah, because we just did a bunch of the puzzles.
Yeah, we just got the ants, stinky boy.
You can make Rabbids unkillable. You can make it so you can just place down a Rabbids, and every time he dies, he just returns to your deck.
Which one is unkillable? The cockroach?
Yes, the unkillable sigil is the most powerful sigil in the game. I'd say. It's one of the most powerful, at least.
Definitely sounds like it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'd say in a lot of circumstances, it's better than the infinite sacrifices.
Okay, so sacrifice the cockroach
Yes.
and give it to rabbits. Nice.
Now all the rabbits and bees he gives will also be unkillable.
So strange, why can't I remember his name? I believe I lost some of my memory in the flash. Okay.
Think fast, Chocolate. Oh my goodness! Wolf Cub. What do you got right now?
Wolf, worker ant, and stink bug.
I put worker ant where that guy is. He'll do 1 damage. So your worker ant will block 1 damage. I'd say just
Ow.
get another score. And do you know what? So check out what the Alpha's sigil does. There's a reason why you want to get rid of him.
Leader. Creatures adjacent to a card bearing the sigil gain 1 power. Oh.
So that wolf cub right there is going to do 2 damage if he manages to get down. He will turn into a wolf if he's not killed immediately. So, here's what I think. How much damage does Stink Bug do? 1. Okay. Put the wolf where Alpha is, and then put Stink Bug where the cub's gonna be. You know what the Stinky Sigil does, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's just not going to attack because now his power is 0.
0 power. Opossum. And there we go. Okay.
You know what that's based?
What is that?
I think I think you'd benefit from having some of your cards powered up, so I think you should go that path. I want you to see what it is first. I've been explaining a lot of things before you actually find out for yourself.
Fire. A group of starving survivors stood around a dying campfire. There is room for a creature around the fire, one said. The warmth will enhance its health, said another. One of the survivors said nothing at all, but could not stop licking their lips.
Click the fire.
Fire.
No way. The bug is like,
Oh.
Because Rabbids requires to be hit, I think you should increase Rabbids' health.
There you go. Has twice as much HP now. The health of the rabbits was enhanced by the warmth. As one of the survivors began pulling a knife from their pocket, you withdrew.
You haven't quite done that enough, but down the line, you'll have a chance to enhance the power further, but it'll risk destroying your card. Look, there's a third talking card somewhere around here. Personally, I hate the guy. Biggest killjoy ever. But he's the only one of us with a plan. Get things back to normal. Moving, okay, yeah. So, that totem there is a bird head with a moving sigil. So any bird card is going to have that sigil on it. Those guys are going to move. I'd say put the bullfrog down first so you can block one of the hits from the birds. You can still place them. They don't move until they've already attacked. Yeah, attack that sparrow, the one on the left. Because when he moves back, then he'll be in the way of the bullfrog. So then he'll get hit again and die. No. Oh, whatever. Your wolf is about to die.
Eve.
Porcupines are annoying. They've got the sigil that damages anything that hits it. You should use him to attack the sparrow. The skunk's not gonna do anything. All he does is stink things up.
Stinky.
You have to surrender. No, don't. Do not.
Why?
Because we haven't used rabbits yet. A good opportunity. Actually, don't play him. Just attack him for now. Now get a normal card. Place rabbits down.
Where?
Anywhere. We're going to sacrifice him. An unkillable rabbit that gives bees when it's hit. So here's the thing. If it's a rabbit that is unkillable and gives bees when it's hit, it only has 1 HP. So when you kill the rabbit, not only will it give you a bee, but that bee will also be unkillable and also give bees. So you just have rabbit just gives you infinite sacrifices. Place rabbit down on the left. Now sacrifice for adder. Rabbits returns. Rabbits returns. You won't be able to kill the skunk because you only have 1 power, so adder won't actually attack. Unless you want to see this through further. Leshy's. Oh god. I guess you could place rabbits down. Why not? Get another one. Normal card. And ooh. Okay, you can get a lot of overkill damage here. First, though, all right. Sacrifice the stoat and the possum to ant. I didn't hear what he said, so either one. Power and numbers. The ants creed. You're about to learn how ants work. Now, place the. I guess you could sacrifice rabbits. It doesn't matter. Place it down. Their power is 2 now. Any creature that is an ant has power equal to how many ant cards you have on your side. So there are 2, so each one has 2 power. Now complete your turn. Twappa.
Twappa.
The bells are clean. I'm so lonely. So close. Golden bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could get another one, but keep in mind that'll increase the likelihood of pulling a pelt out of your card pile. That's the drawback of having to keep a bunch of pelts, because you get to choose whatever card you want later, but you need to suffer the consequences of having just pelts make up your deck. You already have a golden pelt and a rabbit pelt. One more wouldn't hurt too much, I don't think, but if I were you, I'd probably just take it and leave it.
Thank you for your patronage.
Bag.
What's in the bag? The amount of items you can carry is 3, and you have 3.
Oh boy.
Instead, perhaps you'll accept this gift from my friend.
The rat.
The prudent pack rat. Never doubt the utility of a well-stocked pack.
Now that you have him in your deck, it's good to use your items just a little more. I wouldn't say use your items when he's not immediately in your hand, but yeah.
The incessant clanking reverberated between your ears. The The path ahead was blocked by a grotesque figure.
Where's the prospector? Yeehaw!
Place the... Okay. I think I might stop giving you direct orders here. I think I might just give you small hints. You need a way for that coyote to not do as much damage to you or your parts right off the... Keep in mind of the sigil that the smoke has too. Smoke can be very useful early game. Not just because it's a sacrifice, but also because of its sigil. You know what that sigil does?
When a card bearing the sigil dies, 4 bones are awarded instead of 1.
You got stink and skink. Also, in the words of the Stoat, total misput. Had you put the stink bug down after sacrificing the smoke, you would have had enough bones to put down the stink bug, and the coyote would have only done 1 damage. And then once you retaliated, then the stink bug would have just killed that coyote since it only has 1 health. He's going to die now, though. But worry not. Yes, that adder just poisoned that rock to death. There's only 2 places you can place the skink, but only one of them is correct. Remember what the skink's sigil does. Pay no attention to the one where it says moves to the right. If it were in a position where it can't move to the right, it'll move to the left instead. And if it can't move to either direction, it'll just not do it and it'll just get hit anyway. But it will always prioritize right. If it'll move to the right, if both slots are empty, then it'll prioritize moving to the right instead of the left. You don't necessarily have to do it, but you can block damage when you can, you should. And there's a very resourceful way of doing it with the skink. Actually, I lied. The skink will just... Okay, the skink will just kill the adder. The adder only has 1 health. I forgot that the skink actually had power. You can just kill the adder with a skink. My idea was that the skink wouldn't be able to kill the adder immediately. Instead, the adder would then attack the skink and it would move to the left. Would you look at that? I'd sacrifice 2 guys to kill the pack. Honestly, I'd probably leave the skink. If something were to hit the skink, it would move to the side and then you'd be able to actually use the skink's tail as a sacrifice. You can effectively just turn the skink into 2 sacrifices. Got a squirrel, raven egg, a raven, and a possum. Here's the thing with the prospector. You have few cards that are of value. Don't put them all down, because the prospector will just kill them all when you finally beat him. Luckily, Coyote's only got 1 health, so in order to get rid of him, you just need to place down a decent. Here's something you could do now. You could use that squirrel in the jar there, so then you'd have 2 sacrifices to play the pack rat. And then the pack rat will immediately replenish that item you've just used. Ooh, scissors. That's pretty nice. Ding, 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 bonk. You're gonna win this turn. Just phase 2.
There's gold in them cards. Oh, I've struck gold.
Whichever card you feel. Right. And you gotta pick a squirrel or a guy. Also, if the bone pile ever looks ugly, then you should click the bone pile. See what it does. Organized.
You can't sacrifice a gold nugget.
Or rel.
Eat 'em.
The raven egg is good. It's the most opportune time to put it down. Oh, forgot about that though. It's fine. Place them down anywhere. Now, take a look at that guy's sigil.
Which one?
The bloodhound. When an opposing creature is placed opposite to an empty space, a card bearing this sigil will move to that empty space. So once you play a card, he'll move to where that card is if it can, which is what he's been doing. Only thing is that Raven Egg needs 1 turn in order to be useful. So, you have cards you can play here. They get rid of that rabbit pelt, probably. There. The raven egg's out of harm's way. And you win. Awesome.
Need a light.
Think faster.
Your reward?
Crazy hamburger.
The eternal serpent. Death strengthens it forever.
He means forever.
Pack rat again.
Get the Ouroboros. I get that you don't have the Ouroboros, but it's worth it.
After the harrowing encounter with the prospector, you gathered yourself and continued onwards. Let me think.
No.
The air grew thick with moist. The buzzing and chirping of insects drowned out the sound of your footfalls. You beheld the wetlands.
Oh, these lands are pretty wet. I think the next plan, I think what you gotta do next, I'm pretty sure you have to do those puzzles in order to progress this little escape room. No damage. That guy won't. Looks like he's the only thing that won't move. Remember how the ants work. I remember how all these guys work, actually. Right now, it'll do 2 damage. Blind guy's the only guy that's going to be able to do any. The ant will attack, but it's attacking something in the way, so it will not deal damage to the other guy ahead. That guy will do 2 damage because there are 2 ants on the board. I just found the solution. You're very close. You're 1 move away from this one right now. If I just have a soundboard with me every time you... Ooh, there we go. Caged wolf.
Curious.
Now there's 1 more. And once again, there's a skink in the way that will not move.
Stinky skink.
There's 2 guys that won't move. I think that double hit right there, he doesn't want to move, and the skink doesn't want to move either. Yep, he's not moving. I found the solution. There's a lot of moving parts to this one in particular, just because of how damage and hitting and junk works. Getting warmer. Warmer. Actually, I'm going to stop giving you hints. Close, though. Even if it doesn't look like. There we go.
Without having met her, this wood carving is meaningless. In time, you will understand its power.
Do you know how that one worked?
No.
Look at it. So, this guy here, he damages anybody that damages him. So, this guy only has 1 health. The issue is, you want this guy to be here. You want this guy to be right here when, so he can deal as much damage as he can. But this guy's kind of in an awkward position because if he gets hit, he'll move over to this side and completely block this. So, this guy right here, except that'll block this guy. Or these they're called, I can't, buy something strike. They're the double hits on each side. It avoids the guy in front of him pretty much. So, even though it has 1 power, it'll do 2 damage to open spaces. The reason this guy needed to be here is because if this guy were to hit him, he immediately dies. This guy dies, which means he'll hit this person and we will not be able to hit this guy here. So this guy will not actually move to the right because nothing hit it. So then it's just up to these guys. He hits right here, this guy hits right here, and that's 2 damage. And then this guy hits, and that's an extra 3. Notice if the guy isn't here, it'll only be 3 damage. We hit once, and this guy's still alive, so we hit this guy and completely blocked this. Now, you have the Caged Wolf as a card.
Okay.
That will be... You'll have to do something with him next.
Okay. And we still need to do something with this clock.
Yes. You'll find out a code for it in due time.
Also need to get a river snapper somehow. Cave. Cave guy. You arrived at the inky black mouth of a cave. A strange beast lurked within. It spoke.
Pass one of my trials, and I will be yours.
In a raspy voice. 3 creatures will be drawn from your deck. They will decide your success or failure. It spoke again.
But first, you will choose a trial.
Okay. The trial of power. The 3 drawn cards must have at least 4 attack power combined to pass. The trial of bones. The 3 drawn cards must cost at least 5 birds to combine to pass. The trial of health. The 3 drawn cards must have at least 6 health combined to pass.
Remember, you can scroll up to see your decks to see your deck to see what the most likely likely one is. Also, the stink bug seems to be changing a little. 2 health, 3 health. Not a whole lot of guys have really high attack, but looks like a decent amount of them have good health, especially Caged Wolf.
Mm-hmm. Probably this one then.
Let the trial of health begin.
3.
Oh.
1 from the adder, 3 from the ant, 1 from the rabbit pill.
Failure.
Creature whispered as it faded into the blackness. Okay, items. Your pack was full, but a small critter approached.
The rat.
Packing rat, always useful.
The rat, always useful. Nice top deck. That's sarcasm.
Thanks, I guess. 2 pack rats, a squirrel, and this thing. Ugly thing. Stupid thing. I hate this stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
I would start utilizing the pack rats here. Fortunately, you did not draw a squirrel. Oh well, at least your stoat's gonna win in a fight against the bullfrog. But we're good. Except maybe you could have body blocked the coyote with the gold pelt. Ouch! Remember to use an item before you play your pack rat.
What'd you say?
Remember to use an item before you play the pack rat, because you're full on items right now. So once you play the pack rat, give you an item. That rattler's got some words for you. I don't think you can do it on the rattler. I wouldn't say to use that one. Well, you could get rid of the stump. Get rid of the adder, I guess. The stoat's looking at that like, oh my god. Know how much damage the pack rat does? It's 2. Now look at the board and remember overkill damage. Oh, come on. The world. What is he looking at? Yeah, he was looking up at you like.
Who, him?
Yeah, he was like looking up at the ceiling. I was like, frick. Tasty. Now, I think I would use the time stop.
Okay.
Now don't do anything and just play.
Pass.
Squirrel.
Well, what
You know what to do.
Awesome.
Yeah, time to get to the left. I was about to say time to get cards, but that probably would have messed it up and just like tell you to go to the right.
Show me some exquisite pelts.
That's probably not even what her voice was.
Air pelts.
It is. Gotta need good damage, guys. You could put it on Ouroboros. You could do some crazy. If you get Ouroboros and incredible golden pelts. Yuck. You don't need 3 pack rats. Long elk is something else. He kills whatever is in front of him and then moves to the right.
You have my gratitude.
Firebomb.
The warm light of a campfire was a welcome sight, though the 10 hungry eyes around it dampened the greeting. Warm a creature by the fire? Enhance its health? Said one.
You pick something else.
Do what you must.
I would not suggest doing it on the Ouroboros. That would be a waste. Could do it on him. But maybe there might be other, maybe cards that do a lot of damage but don't have a whole lot of health. That would be nice. Though, you can't make up your mind. Rabbids is always a good choice. Baru.
The survivors were right about the flames. They had enhanced the creature's health. Spotting a few of the survivors drooling, you made a hasty retreat with your wolf.
Wolf? We need to get out of here. Whoa. Bad play. Ouch.
Stop that.
How health are you at? I was just asking how much health you were at. Seeing how much you could tank. I'd probably get rid of that coyote with Ouroboros. Draw a... Draw a normal card. Get the possum. The possum in the jar. Place him in front of one of the rattlers. Still got a life. You were a disappointment. I hoped for more. You know what that one is? Right there on the left.
No.
It lets you pick a card dependent on how much the card costs. But it'll be a completely random card with that cost on it. So, on the back of one of the cards, it'll be a single blood drop. And if you choose that one, it'll give you a random card that costs 1 blood. You'll occasionally get ones that cost bones, too. Anything that costs bones. Sometimes you'll just get things that cost 1 blood, 2 blood, 3 blood. That X, though, be aware, that's getting rid of one of your cards. And you have no choice. When you land on that space, you have no choice but to get rid of one of your cards. Which can actually be a blessing in disguise. What are your cards looking like right now?
Let's see.
If there is a card, for like the skink, for example, maybe, that is not all that useful to you, or maybe you don't want 2 pack rats, because that can be a little dangerous, you can get rid of them. Just 1, though.
1 blood, 2 blood, 3 blood.
Arrow.
Came across some familiar stones, but there was something different. You intuited that the fate of the creature selected for this would not be pleasant.
The rat.
However, the Bone Lord was pleased by your sacrifice.
Blood for the Bone Lord.
A minor boon of the Bone Lord. You will start each battle with 1 extra bone. You shook off the viscera of the poor pack rat and carried onwards. Okay, we're gonna do squirrel, ant queen, long elk, and skink.
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 Let's skink it up.
Long elk is awake. Ooh, you can do something cool here. It involves the ants. Ants in my eyes!
Ants in the pants.
Yes.
Ants in the pants. Ants in the pants.
Now notice how long elk costs 4 bones. And the worker ant needs a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Log. Woof. Squirrel it up. Squirrel up.
Ow.
Something you could do here. That ant queen is not as useful to you anymore. I was gonna say that. One of the two right spaces. That's the best for the wolf. What do you believe is the correct play, Jacob? You answered correctly. Got a B.
Bees.
Bees nuts.
Yeah.
Bees. Me again.
Don't care.
Back on the board.
Back in the game.
Back in black. Ouch. You can also scroll up to see your money, I think. Can't quite count it. Press the pause button. That number up there at the top right, that's how many you have right now. You might not have enough for a golden pelt, but I'm not sure. You'll either have exactly enough or you'll be one short. What are your cards looking like? Anybody with a useful sigil that would be better on somebody else?
The mantis?
You could make your double wolf again. You have to go to the right, though. You gotta make a choice here. I don't think you... yeah, I think you'll be fine. Let's go for that.
Overog. The Venerable Alpha. Its courage emboldens the creatures that stand beside it.
You don't have a whole lot of cards to use your bones on anyway.
Wolf. Super wolf. Mantis wolf.
Tigress rat.
The mud tugged hard at your feet, forcing you to slow your pace. A rank odor caused your stomach to churn and your eyes to water. It was the rotting fish that hung from the branches around you. A huge man approached.
Sign my petition.
Go fish. You get it, cause it's a card game.
E-on.
Kingfishers are annoying.
Which fish are choose?
Pull a squirrel. He's going to take the last card that you put down.
Okay.
And remember, he cannot... If there's something on his space... Okay, what's going to happen is... that skink, he's going to pull over to his side, and the skink will be his.
Okay.
So, put a squirrel where the other guy's about to come in.
Pressure fish. Easy choose.
Just leave it at that for now. They'll attack, but don't worry.
Mine now. Go fish.
Now, try not to attack that squirrel there, because then the fisher will come out. Yeah, I'd say put Ouroboros on the board where the bullfrog is.
Still fish. Hard to choose.
Try getting rid of that other fisher to the left. So get a squirrel.
No!
It's fine. Okay, just leave it. I meant get rid of that one. Well, now he just deleted the other one, so I guess it's fine. I'd say get a squirrel. Just put it at where the other fisher is. Ouroboros is going to do more damage than the fisher does. Oh no, I forgot. He didn't do it. Okay, pull a normal card. Double wolf. How much health are you? Okay, sacrifice Ouroboros and the squirrel. And place it where the other guy's squirrel is. Now play. It don't matter.
One down.
Go fish.
Pull a normal card. Yes! Okay.
Rabbits.
Okay. Place rabbits. Anywhere. Really anywhere. Place the rabbit. Sacrifice the rabbit and rabbits.
What?
Ouroboros. Down Ouroboros. Place down either rabbits or rabbit, doesn't matter. Sacrifice rabbits and Ouroboros to caged wolf. Where is that Ouroboros at right now? Place rabbit down again. Sacrifice for Ouroboros. I realize caged wolf can't do anything right now. You want caged wolf to get damaged, but there's not really a good way to do that. You win though. Like you win very hard here. So screw him up.
Goodbye.
Oh my god.
He did.
Your lives are restored.
I have 4 bee rabbits.
Choose carefully.
Stale fish, hard shoes.
Strange larva, mole man, the stalwart mole man, the ultimate defense. Child 13.
I'd go mole man.
Mole man.
He's a real. He's really.
Moving past the pond, you took a deep breath of fresh air and continued on. The relief of the fresh air quickly gave way to a bone-shaking chill. You guessed at the path ahead as the snow increasingly obscured it. Climb to the snow lane again.
Nowhere. We are at an hour.
So that means we'll see you next time.
Later.
Bye. Bye. Bye.